the first thing to understand is why do we see resellers in the travel in travel industry? Okay, so you have Priceline, and you have Expedia, and you have Hotwire. All of those are, in some sense, resellers that are buying from the airline and reselling to the public. So the question is, why do we see this phenomenon at all arising? And what we are arguing is that in the airline industry, or in travel industry in general, there are different classes of customers. So you have those customers that we refer to as leisure customers that usually can plan in advance and they have the time to buy 4 weeks in advance. And in contrast, there are those latecomers, usually the business class and individuals traveling on emergency that really cannot plan in advance. And it's these later comers that actually are the most lucrative because they are willing to pay a lot. Okay, so what you do, you divide your market between advance purchase, and you want them to buy early on your website, and then you wait and see what kind of lucrative market materializes close to the departure, and based upon that, you obviously serve them first because they are more lucrative, and then you see how much is left for you is excess capacity, and that's what you give to the reseller. Now, it's not that simple, because if you have a lot of capacity, suppose, and now the airline industry is definitely experiencing significant excess capacity, you can anticipate the resellers will always have something seats to offer, and they normally will sell it for far less, and that therefore will cannibalize the price you can charge early on your own website. So it's not that simple, because there is a trade-off. You don't want to necessarily rely on it if you have huge capacities, because customers are smart. They say, I'll wait, I'll place a bid on Priceline, and if I get it for $90, I'll go. If I don't, I won't go. Yeah, but those customers indeed are the leisure customers that can afford not to go. And so what it does for you is, first of all, you get this segmentation. Those that can plan in advance, buy early on, and pay whatever the posted price you have on your website. There are those that strategically, from the leisure travelers, say, I'll wait and see what happens if there are seats available. And then there are those guys that have very little options. They just have to fly. They pay a very high price. And the question is, when does the airline find it worthwhile to use a reseller? So we find conditions for that. And the second is, why there are different options. Why use the name your own price? You know, name your own price has customers bidding their willingness to pay, and then the reseller, Priceline in this case, shops around and see if there is a provider, an airline that is willing to accept. If yes, you get the ticket. If not, you say, too bad. And so why use this format rather than just have a price? And there are, Expedia gives you a price, right. Doesn't let you bid. And what I find in a related paper, not the one that it's co-authored, is that the notion of whether to use the bidding environment or to just post a price depends upon how competitive the reseller market is. And so if it's not that competitive, you are better off with the name your own price model, because you extract more surplus in this way as an airline. Okay, so there is this comparison of different pricing models from the perspective of the airline or the hotel chain, whatever, the car rental are all the same type of model, and from the perspective of the resellers and the perspective of travelers, of customers.